Are we recording? Well, you're here today, so you can do the Icelandic clap. Hey, look at that. We've been doing that ourselves and trying to re-imitate it for the last 10 episodes. Hi and welcome to Coffee Not Found, the podcast about all things creative, gamification and marketing. This week we have Heather.
Hello, I'm back again.
Yeah. Jack has gone off into the sunset. He shall be back when he gets a haircut. Yeah. Not until then, Jack. Okay, yeah. So this week we're talking about celebrity endorsement in games. And this is one that the reason you got roped into being on this episode is because it was your idea.
Yeah, so on the last episode I was on, we were talking about in-game advertising, and it's just basically a follow-up from that, and I think I said it on the last one, I'm a big fan of The Sims, and with in-game advertisement in The Sims, there's also a lot of celebrity endorsements and cameos, so I was just thinking it might be a good episode for us to talk about.
Cool, sounds good. So why not start with The Sims?
So from as far back as The Sims 1, we had a few cameos like Avril Lavigne and Marilyn Monroe, and that I think was in the expansion pack for Superstar. But then as Sims 2 started growing much bigger in the franchise, they brought in some of the singers then to actually do some of the songs in Simlish. So we had the likes of Katy Perry, Pussycat Dolls, all the kind of 2000s kind of singers. And then they also made kind of cameos within the music videos for the trailers of The Sims.
Oh. At least I know some of these. One of the things that you'll have to bear with us if it crops up, normally one of Heather's roles is to berate my lack of knowledge of music, but I know these people, so it's all okay. All right, so, and you say Simlish?
Yes, that is a language within The Sims.
Okay. Fair enough. And kind of how did those endorsements help it? Was it already going to be famous anyway?
Well, I think, it brings me on to Sims 3 then, because it all evolved. In the Sims 3 then there was an expansion pack for Katy Perry, so I think a lot of her fans then came along and wanted to buy just because they could have her hairstyles or, you know, just even to listen to her music in the game itself. I think a lot of her fan base then bought The Sims because of that. So it is an incentive for them.
For her hair?
For her hair.
Wow.
She had bright blue hair back then.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. And then did Pink do one where it was pink hair? No?
No.
Fair enough. Okay, all right. So all the way along it's kind of, it's not that it's tied itself to the celebrity, but it's worked hand in hand with through to Sims 3. Is there a Sims 4?
There is a Sims 4, and unfortunately I've kind of fallen out of the spectrum of The Sims at the moment, but as far as I'm aware they still have the singers coming in and doing some songs. I don't think there's an expansion pack yet that involves any of the celebrities like The Sims 3 did. Okay.
Fair enough. You could have put one of those breakup musics when she said I've fallen out with Sims 4. Cool, okay, and then the next one I see on the list is Goat Simulator.
Yeah, so you play Goat Simulator?
I played it once on...
It's a great game.
Okay.
It's nonsense. Like, there is no point, but it's great crack.
Okay.
Yeah. But there is, now I haven't actually got that far into myself, but I have seen videos of it. You can go up onto the rooftop and Deadmau5, a DJ, he is playing up on the rooftop, and then if the goat like goes up to him, the DJ decks, he actually wears the mouse head then, and you can play him as a character then.
So
with the mouse head.
Goat mouse.
Yes.
Or goat head. Goat mouse head. Goat mouse head. Okay, alright. And was there a reason Deadmau5 kind of went in with it, or?
Well, Deadmau5 is just a massive gamer, like he's always streaming on Twitch as well, so he has a lot of involvement in a lot of video games. I've only named a couple of them here, but there's probably about 10 games I'd say he's involved with.
Okay,
in endorsing, just because of the love of it.
Cool. Yeah, I suppose the DJs will be more likely to be big gamers. again, that's just a sweeping statement, but I'm assuming, but fair enough. And, okay, and then the next one, well, this one I can kind of understand. So DJ Hero.
Yeah, and I think you might be able to talk about Guitar Hero then as well. I think with a lot of music games there is obviously endorsement for a lot of musicians. It's just a given, really.
Guitar Hero was created by a musician, and I do know that the only Guitar Hero I owned was Aerosmith edition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they went all in, brand the guitar, brand the game, and we know that definitely brought.
I actually loved how they appeared in Guitar Hero Aerosmith. They just looked much more cartoon-like. They didn't look as realistic as when they're in DJ Hero. They're very much so a realistic character.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I like how animated they were.
I suppose Guitar Hero had that art style too,
Yeah.
whereas maybe DJ Hero was more about being an actual DJ, weirdly. And then, hang on, Spice World.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
It's my guilty pleasure, okay.
Okay.
So in the 90s, of course, on PlayStation 1, there was Spice World, and again, actually very similar to the Aerosmith and Guitar Hero, they're just a very animated version of themselves, the large kind of bobblehead style.
Okay.
But yeah, you could play a couple of kind of dance games, as far as I remember, like dance step games. You're just clicking all the different buttons in it.
That was very as far as I can remember. I wasn't playing it last night, honestly. I wasn't. Okay, all right.
I think even within the game, they actually had some videos playing as well, as far as I remember.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I suppose Spice World brings me to kind of a question I have with most brand endorsement or celebrity endorsement in games. It's how much of the game would it be a success without the endorsement? A case in point would be from me looking at it, and I only have looked at it at the surface, but I know you've looked into it a bit more, Kim Kardashian's game. Well, there's no way that game would be successful if it didn't have her name attached. I don't think, anyway. And there are other ones as well where it's, even some of the motor racing games, going to an area that I probably would know only slightly more about, but you know, there are some games where they were reasonable, but there would have been better car racing games out there. They just didn't have whoever it was, Colin McRae or whoever was attached to it at the time. So that's where I suppose the endorsements work. It's when they can bring a game from where it would be to where, because I saw the guys who make the Kim Kardashian game, they make a number of games in that sphere where it's like there's a baseball game and it's endorsed by a baseball player. They make all these different games, but there's some sort of an endorsement with it. The vast majority of their revenue goes on licensing to pay these people because they make huge money out of it. And it's going back now, I know I should have done more research for having made the comment, but I did research it at the time for another game we were doing, and the company were paying over like 60 million just for naming rights. And you're kind of going, wow, you imagine how much because not only do you have the naming rights, you still have to pay for the acquisition of the user. Like, I mean, Kim Kardashian game, it doesn't just get organic hits, they have to pay for in-game, for other ad placement like we talked about last week, a couple of weeks ago. So, and that brings us on then, I suppose, as well to the sports games, because that's where it's most prevalent that I've seen.
Yeah.
Is in sports games. So you had, the one I first remember is actually Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
That's the first one where it was like, he was a household name in skateboard land, but wouldn't have been all that well known otherwise. Then you have, as I say, all the motor racing games. There are others as well, aren't there? There's, maybe not in the, as I said, the sports are the ones I'm bringing up, but like, obviously FIFA would have always gone for the top couple of players, except that one year when, FIFA got its own character depending on what country you were in. Yeah. We got Richard Dunn. But not like, I mean, it was around the time I think of the Russian game, so I mean, he should have gotten the entire FIFA worldwide for the Russian game. But it's just, and then was it even in action 50 Cent?
Yeah, I didn't know about this, but just doing a bit of research, he had a game out, and even Eminem was featuring in it. And not as cameos, it's more them acting as a different character.
Okay.
But That was a very interesting one that I just never heard of or came across.
Which is worrying because
You would think.
that would be the whole point of a
Maybe
game
it's
like
just because I
that.
don't listen to rap music, but maybe if I do, I would have been on that, similar to how I love dance music. That's why I play DJ Hero. But maybe if I was into rap music, then I would have known about 50
Maybe.
Cent's game.
I didn't. Up until I read it literally on those notes, I was like, I didn't know.
Oh.
Fair enough. So maybe that one didn't do as well, or maybe it did and we were just completely out of the loop. Both are possible. And then, so it's the brand endorsement, as I touched on with the 60 million cost, like it's only something the bigger studios can do. It's just not, unless you've got, unless your family friend is Pink or Katy Perry, I don't think it's going to be as easy. But yeah, so Kevin Spacey being plastered all over the marketing for Call of Duty at the time, I still don't see how it makes sense. But apparently it made sense for him to be in Advanced Warfare. But now it really has a completely different message. But at least with gaming, I suppose there is a shorter shelf life for a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with a movie, you were hoping that it would go to TV and then it goes to DVD and all these other things and streaming. So, if
got
someone,
a couple of year leeway with a
Yeah.
game, that's about it.
yeah, and I suppose that's the thing you take with any celebrity. It can all go really well, and then just all of a sudden, even when you look at, and I use celebrity YouTubers, wasn't one of them recent? Well, there's often YouTubers, they'll say something wrong, and then all of a sudden, Logan Paul.
Should we name him? Yes.
What happened there?
Just decided to film a suicide in a forest in Japan.
Oh, right.
Was it Japan? I think it was Japan.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that went
Did
down
not go
well.
down well at all.
Not surprising. Okay, yeah,
Any
so...
endorsements with him, you know, was completely broken at that point.
was PewDiePie dropped by Disney?
Yes, he was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, yeah, just be very careful if you are going to go the brand endorsement route. Just bear in mind, you know, that it can go horribly wrong. And especially, yeah, when it's someone in the public life, because people are brought up and brought back down again at such regular intervals. Maybe stay away from any celebrities from the 80s and 70s until we've fully been vetted, just in case. But yeah, that's the counter side to it. And I suppose on a tangent then to the celebrity endorsements, and I'm going to try and keep our podcast shorter going forward because I'm supposed to be not going off on too many tangents, but a lot of times actors are in games as actors, but they bring the fact that, you know, it's still a tagline in it, you know, featuring the voice of. And these days as well, they tend to use the facial features of it. So the one that got me was Nathan Fillion, of Firefly and Castle fame, in Halo.
Alright.
And so he's one of the soldiers in Halo, and he's basically just his usual character. Same face basically when he takes off the headpiece, and yeah, he's up there with Master Chief and stuff, you know, and that's that kind of celebrity piece brings a bit of, I think it's almost ego stroking on behalf. Now I could get in trouble for that, but like it's kind of ego stroking for the company because Halo didn't need Nathan Fillion. Like you could have gotten anyone off the street who has who can do a soldier type voice. There you go. That's it sorted.
I wonder if it's because franchises are a bit concerned that they're not going to make the same money they did on the original release. I'm just thinking that with The Sims, that's what it was, but with Halo, is it the same that just
maybe.
a security net for them have a celebrity endorsement?
Yeah, the guy in the studio who has to press go is going, well, if I have a celebrity, it's a bit like in the tech industry years ago, the phrasing used to be no one ever got fired for hiring IBM. You know, that's how they used to get people to not hire the smaller consultants. It was like, well, look, if it goes wrong and IBM were here, it's not your fault. So if it goes wrong and you had like these really famous people in there, then yeah, maybe it wasn't your fault. But yeah, so I suppose that's probably one of the main reasons maybe that celebrity endorsements are used, is that you're covering your ass basically. But from a smaller company perspective, and I often go back to that just because it's the hat we wear, most of the time, it's a nice way of getting an elevation, but unless you can get a bloody good deal, it's outside the realms of most companies. So yeah, if you're a celebrity and you want to endorse one of our games, let us know. Can't offer you top dollar, I'm afraid. You can come on the podcast if you really feel like it. But yeah, that's us for this weekend, I think. This weekend, jeez. It's only Thursday, Colin. I mean, this comes out on Tuesday. It's only Monday, Colin, honest. This has been Coffee Not Found. You can find us on Twitter at CoffeeNF. Give us a tweet. Obviously, subscribe to either the podcast or the YouTube or whatever medium it is that you're following us on. That would be very helpful. And we're Coffee NF Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And we're on LinkedIn and all other good things. And if you have any topics you think we should be covering, let us know.
Cool.
See you now.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.